Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
We are back with John Riggio, our architect and friend from the tri-state, hailing from New Jersey. Doesn't mean he's limited to New Jersey with his resources, but as an architect, he's done it all, and he's got some great stories for us. And of course, he's here to help you. Please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, my name is John Riggio. I'm an architect, and my office is John Riggio, RA Architect, located in Pawtucket, New Jersey. I also service New York City and Pennsylvania too.
Beautiful. Well, we're excited to have you back as always. Just want to find out the website, how we can contact you.
Yes, it is located at www.johnriggio.com, and the spelling is JOHNRIGGIO.
Perfect. All right. What did you want to talk about for today?
Well, I have some new photographs of some completed projects. I'd like to first show you them. So let me just open those up here. Okay, so this is another project here located in Edison, New Jersey, which is central New Jersey. And it's a large house. This house is over 4,000 square feet. And this is a house that was originally a one-story house, and it's pretty much completely demolished down to the foundations, and we built it over. And this is the new look of the house. If you can see here, it has steps with a circular driveway,
Beautiful.
a two-car garage, and a large arch entrance. And then one thing that is on this particular house is it has a iron entrance. So instead of putting double doors on the first story and then a picture window on the second, this whole entrance is one structure. This is something new they're doing now, and this is going on a number of the houses that I've been working on. And it's
Wait, just curious. It's hard to see. So that's a door, and then on top, is that a window or that's?
Yes.
Okay.
Just zoom in here. Can you see me zooming in? Okay, so this here,
Beautiful.
yeah, so you see that this is like a black iron door.
Yeah.
It has some gold highlights on this.
I was just going to ask what's that from afar. I'm like, oh, maybe there's some leaves on the door. No, that's ornate. That's part of it. It's beautiful.
Yes, and it's a heavy iron door, and this is something new. And you see it has one large arch, then it has another arch in the middle with the house number, and then the arch for the double doors. And then I always like to put these two lights, one on each side. And then this house also has some things that are going with the trends. One is this two-story bay window with the roof.
I want that for my house. I want an extension of my house, and I want that two-story bay window just like that. So
Yes.
pretty.
And this one on the right side, we put in a sliding glass door. The balcony is also on this house. And then this picture is showing the circular driveway.
Wait, just curious. They don't need a railing up there at all? There's any codes for that? Or
they will put this is just before
oh, okay. I'm like in railings. Okay.
This is sort of like my last inspection, just to go through the house with the owner. And then this is another photograph showing the front of the house.
Wow.
I think on this also you can see that this is thin stone. This around here is thin stone. It's also going along the bottom of the foundation. And that is just a decorative stone, and it is also a current style that we've been using. Is it called the thin stone veneer?
Veneer.
It's about 1 inch thick. It isn't a full 4-inch brick. It's just a 1 inch veneer, and they put it on similar where they would use a mortar backing and they would attach it to the house that way. So it works pretty good.
You see, I gotta say, I love what you did. You did the bottom with the veneer too. A lot of homes have just cement there, including mine. And it's like, why didn't the builder, okay, maybe you couldn't put siding there for whatever reason, but why did you leave it just bare cement? I guess this is something that people are caring about now and doing the right way.
Yes, I like to show that, so to bring the whole front facade together. And on the side of the steps, they also put the
I see it there too.
Also.
Perfect.
Okay, then this is just showing just the new curb cut. This is just as far as the photographs. They put in some new shrubs, some requirements with the shrubs as far as the building code is concerned. And this whole thing with this project, we had to adjust this whole curb and sidewalk is brand new. They originally had the street used to blend out into the old house yard the way it was. Now this is brand new, that it has a new sidewalk with new drain and everything there. So that was just one little detail of the house also. So this is just some pictures of the outside of
Wow.
the house.
Can I ask about the windows? I see the current trend is the dark windows,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. This one has a dark windows, and yeah, they usually they have a few different windows that are available. When you say look at like the Anderson window catalog or the Pella Windows catalog, you see they have white windows. They have like brown windows, black windows, some other color windows are in there. And yeah, this is the new style window. Now this is
Wow.
the family room facing the rear of the house. And see, this is this window detail. The owner really wanted a decorative window. I put together a nice window for them.
I never
And
seen anything like that. That is gorgeous.
yes, so this is showing the new fireplace. This is a direct vent fireplace. This is something that everyone is using. Aren't going to put in the big chimney. So the chimney usually would go up and go right through where the window is here in the
Hmm.
middle. But this one is a direct vent fireplace. And it has the two windows on the side here. And it has the whole thing here with the mantelpiece and everything.
And
So
just curious, what is a direct vent fireplace? Can you elaborate on that?
a
Is
direct
that
vent, what it does is for instance, if a direct vent fireplace is gas fired, all they need is like a little 4-inch vent right out the back of the house.
okay?
With they don't need a full chimney any longer. And the heating unit can still provide up to maybe 40,000 BTUs of heat. So you can heat the whole room, this whole double height room. You could heat the room and you still get the look of a fireplace, but you don't need any chimney. This is much
Mm.
more energy efficient. They also have the same fireplace in electric too, so you don't have to use a gas connection. You could just plug it in, and the same exact idea. It would have just exhaust vent out the back of the house, and it would heat the whole room. So this is something new,
Are
and this
people
idea.
still doing old chimneys anymore with the wood and fire, or not really?
No, very rarely we are doing any chimneys anymore. That's only
Okay.
maybe to keep an existing chimney situation. Otherwise, usually the chimney for the fireplace that you're not bothering with, and also the chimney for the heating system and the hot water heater. Usually we're just going with direct vent, the high efficiency. So it's saving them a lot of money. They don't need to build any brick chimney. They don't need to build a metal flue chimney. So it's saving them a lot of money, and they're saving money also because it's an energy efficient unit. So that's one thing about this design is here. And this is another picture of the same volume of space here.
Hmm.
This is showing the entrance, and that's the inside
Wow.
of that iron door. And it has the steps here with wood and some iron balusters.
Hmm.
And this is the dining room with the bay window. So this is good. This is just right before the owners would really live in the house. And this here is this nice kitchen where it has like this L-shaped island here, and we have some 4-bar stools. So this came out really good. This is some nice flooring here, and so that's good. And then also this is also typical of having these pendant lights hung over where the island area is. So that's
Hmm.
another idea that's here. And this is showing the balcony here with the skylight. It's showing it has iron balusters with the wood handrail, and the lighting here, recessed lighting along where you would walk underneath this hallway. So then this here is showing the left side is showing the windows, and the
Ah,
right side is showing the balcony,
God,
and it
that's
has the skylights in the middle. So this is giving them a nice family room. This is getting more of a close up of that door,
hmm.
and also you can see the wood grain on the handrail. This is
Hmm.
very nice detailed handrail, and this here also, this is the window here, showing how this
Beautiful.
iron detail of the like flowers and everything.
Mhm.
And this is the formal living room. It's not as large as the family room, but this is more the formal living room. It has like a chandelier on the ceiling, and it's just completely open here. Where the entrance
Never
is.
seen an opening like that. That is beautiful. And then they find a couch to kind of match with the peak like that. That's
Yes.
wow.
Now this is looking going up to the stairs to
Mhm.
the second floor, and then you can see also the skylight that's in that family room.
Mhm.
And this is the new chandelier.
Wow.
Okay, so this is showing the hallway, just some things here. This is the stair going to the second floor. Okay, this is the just like the bathroom. And this is showing another picture of the family room where they're getting some furniture in there. They're gonna put it around there, and you can see that they have the wood floor. And this is the entrance area.
Wow.
That's one of my drafters.
Okay.
And okay, so that's the pictures for that house. So let me exit out of here. Okay, and let me just show the next set of drawings, next set of photographs. Okay, the next photographs I have is another house that was finished approximately the same time. I have some exterior pictures, so let me just go through that. Let me just share that.
And what's like a timeline on that? Did they have were they living in the one story and knocked it down, or did they buy it? Knock it. What was the owner's situation? Just curious.
Yeah, he bought the house that was already existing. It was a one-story house.
Okay.
It was just a simple ranch house, and it had a full cellar. And from that, we completely added on the second floor, gutted out
Mm-hmm.
the whole first floor, gutted out the
Wow.
cellar, added on the garage, and made a much larger house. And that's what is people like to do. So with that, they don't have to put in all new water lines and gas lines and everything. They're keeping a piece of the foundation on that, but the whole house is pretty much a brand new house.
And how long does something like that take?
It takes 1 year from the start to finish.
So they
It's
hired you to draw the plans and then
Yes,
about a
correct.
year. Okay.
Yes. Now this is another house that is very similar house,
Oh yeah.
and this was the same idea. They had a split level house that was located here, and we took the house and completely doubled the size of it and made it much larger. And this is this house here. This is in the same area here in central New Jersey. And this, you can see the front of the house. It has the thin stone veneer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the drive it has a stucco
Beautiful.
finish in a
Yep.
darker finish line in here. And then this here, we just have on the living room area, we have a bay
I
window.
wonder.
And then for the double height space, I don't have the pictures on this particular file, but this is completely open. I'll
Wow.
have to find them. This is the double height space. And this here, you see an arch. This is
Uh-huh.
the usual way of making this front entrance where we have a double door. It's wood.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have here a picture window
Yep.
and an arch window above that, piecing together these three. And then we have the two lights, one on each side. And this has the same idea, has the thin brick with the steps going into the house. And this is works pretty good. So let me just zoom out of that. Let's go to the next picture.
How big is that house? That's
It's
massive.
it's 5,000 square feet. This is a
Wow.
large house. And this is just some pictures of that house.
And it looks bigger because I guess the garage is there too. It has like the windows in the garage. Is that what that is? Yeah.
Yes, this has
Cool.
a garage, two-car garage. It has also in this bedroom,
Rooms
it
above
has
it.
a
Mm-hmm.
balcony with a sliding glass door.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty good. I think
Oh,
with some of these I could maybe another show I could show some of the
I was gonna say
floor plans.
get the interior. I want to see in the plans. It looks so pretty.
Okay, so let me show another one of these. Okay, this is good. Okay, let's go with this. this one here. Okay, let me share this. Okay, so this is another house. This is a little more, it's central New Jersey, heading further south into New Jersey. And this is another house that is really the same idea. This was just a one-story house, completely made over. This particular picture, it isn't a fully completed house. I think you can see I have my sign there in front of the
I
house.
love it. It is
This
beautiful.
is a completely new style for the house. It's completely made over, and it shows here the window on the right side over here. Renovated the garage. The garage was existing, but it wasn't really looked anything like this. And this whole thing is brand new. This whole second floor, the whole first floor was gutted out.
Now, what's
Same
that
thing.
top floor in the middle with the little window? Is that an attic or is that an
Yes.
opened?
No, it's just an attic space.
Nice.
And this here has some interesting things with the zoning. That's why we have some setback roof areas here. And so that was interesting.
What do you mean? Can you explain it? What happened?
Yeah, what's happens here is there's a certain dimension between the side property line and the house that you have to keep to. And each township is slightly different. Each building department is different. They have slightly different building codes, zoning codes. And so on this area, you really couldn't just build over this line. Some building departments, some zoning you are allowed to, but this one we had to keep a setback. So that's why you have this. So we have like 3 cascading rules. You have 1, 2, 3, and that is making the most of that detail there. So instead of demolishing this whole garage, this piece we completely just they did the whole thing over, kept this block foundation with the wall that was existing and built over it. So that's what's happening there.
Which
And
they'll cover with the veneer.
this what they're going to do is I have the finished pictures. Yes, they're just gonna put like a stucco finish over that. That's really
Nice.
what they're gonna do. Let me show another one here.
So, if I hire you to do my house, you'll learn the codes for the town of Brookhaven and Long Island.
Yeah,
Do
of
all your
course.
research.
I've
It's
already
just that
worked in all
easy.
those
It's like,
areas.
all right, good. I know you're in New Jersey, but you do work, the tri-state as well. Wow, amazing.
Okay, so this is another house that is the same idea. They already had a one-story house, and this detached garage was already there too. But the whole thing with this is the same idea. We added on to the front of the house, built up this whole front facade, gutted out the first floor, changed everything around, and added a full second floor. And this is what the house looks like here. This one is same thing, having the stone veneer. And this is a single door with 2 side lights, picture window, and arch window. So let me just zoom into that. And then same thing, putting the thin veneer on the entrance and also over the new foundation. So it gives it a nice detailed look. This whole foundation here, it isn't an old foundation, it's brand new, and just puts some brick veneer over it. So it gives it a nice look. And this has a little more symmetrical look, has the 2 bay windows, the windows over the bedrooms, and the central area in here. So it's just pretty good. And this is
Beautiful.
just a side view. And this here.
I see stucco coming back. You see what I was seeing a lot of, you tell me, I don't know about where you are, but I mean, I'm out on Long Island, but I see it more like in Texas and more of these houses that I look at, but I might say it wrong, so I apologize, but is it board and batten? It's
Yeah, board and batten is the vertical
the vertical.
siding. So they have a
Yes,
large piece of wood and a small piece of wood. That's board and batten.
got it. Okay.
And I think then just to complete the show is one interesting thing. I think just like anyone's like an ordinary architect and everything, but one interesting thing is about working in New York City in particular. I was exposed to a lot of things that were in the news. And one interesting picture thing that was in the news was a story about people that were doing something wrong. They were doing something wrong with the filing in there. And then they have articles about the building department being so large that they had expediters. And I think one interesting thing about that with New York City is since I'm older, I have more experience, I've been to other city locations, is that whenever a city gets large, has a large city building department, they always buy the same computer system, the software with the code book. And I think most people are used to an international code these days, but before they were still doing the same thing. And I think that is, since I have more experience and got older, it was really very interesting that I was just thinking about how instead of taking the building department and making it like a little post office for every 3 zip codes, they have something where the cities always have this central building department with code book. Now they have the computer system with the online filing and the expediters. And this thing about the expediters seems to be very interesting. I think that's like, say, if you had one post office and you had to have someone wait online for 2 hours to get
Yeah.
a book of stamps. That was the same idea. So in
Yeah.
New York City, I was exposed to this interesting thing that there was in the news, and I could show you just a filing. Let me just share this picture here. And I just saved some news clips over the years. Let me just share this real quick. That there were so many problems there. There were so many problems there, and this is the one of the news reports here that they had. And I think what happened is very interestingly is my drafter who was really working. She was working as a freelance drafter for me. She liked the freedom to work at home. She did not want to work in the office. So
Okay.
as far as I know, she was working for different architects,
Mm-hmm.
and usually pay on a 1099. And she worked for me for a long time. I think it was like 5 years on a
Okay.
1099. So, but she learned a lot working for me, and then she ended up meeting this other architect that is on this news report. And the strangest thing happened. By the time she told me she wants to stop working for me and venture off to get new things in this other office, she comes back rushing like a week later and tells me that everything went crazy in the office where she started working. That the authorities, police came down and confiscated everything in the office, and she was admitting everything to me, and she even needed some copies of whatever she worked on for me too. And of course, whatever drawing she did, I spent like an extra 15 hours, to fix everything up, make sure it's going to get approved. And but what happened is she tells me the story that their office was really doing something strange. They were accepting stolen projects that were taken from other architects, maybe my office, other architects in New York City, and they were working on it. And just in the short time that she was leaving, this whole thing happened, and they closed his office down. So she didn't continue working for me. She couldn't work there because their office was shut down. And I don't know what happened to her, but that was a very strange end to her working for me. And it turns out to be pretty big in the newspaper. This news report that I'm showing you has the architect. But I think one interesting thing is what you read in the newspaper is only centered on what's happening inside the building department filings, paperwork. It doesn't have anything to do with what's happening outside the building department.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the building department, I think if you were to call the fire department, said the building's burning down the block, they come and they put the fire out. But if you were to call the building department, they don't think the same way. It's sort of different. And so that was one very interesting thing, that this
Wow.
was all happening. So while these articles are in the newspaper about building department filing problems, it turned out to be a much bigger thing happening outside. And that did affect my office because she was working for me making drawings from the years between 2008, before 2008, and then I think this overflowed into 2010. And so it did affect my office because she stopped working altogether, and she was helping me make some drawings. And so this whole thing with her working for this other architect, and it turns out they were really taking projects and from people, and they were working on them. It was very strange. I think I have, even on my webpage, I have this thing of, if someone called my office, they had this thing of someone using the first name Joe. And then he was also using my same last name, saying somehow he was my partner. And obviously that was never the truth. So somehow they were taking jobs like that, and it was going to
Wow.
these offices, and then
Wow.
they were working on it. So it did affect me.
Mm.
And so this did eventually come out. And I don't think the incident that I'm talking about was really published in the newspaper. Only these things about the building department filing mistakes,
Mm.
fraudulent information on there, things like that. But the real thing that was happening outside was there was something where someone was stealing jobs from offices, sending them over to one or more offices,
Mm-hmm.
and the government did get them. They did go down there and shut them down, and that was very interesting. But I think in the newspaper they're more concerned with what was just going on with the building department filing.
Yeah.
And I think the stories of like different people that are like somehow they end up going behind the counter and working on the other side of the counter. I did see all kinds of things like that because I was doing my own expediting for a while when I started off. And I think most people, they usually would just hire an expediter, but I started off going there myself and really saw all these stories in person. So that was something very interesting. And so, yeah, I wanted to just say about this story because that sort of pieces together the story when I was talking about if someone calls me and they answer their name is really Joe and using the same last name, Riggio, is completely a fraud. And then these projects would get sent over to other architects to work on as if they're their jobs. And it was really unbelievable. So that was amazing. So I think this particular incident, it did affect having my drafter stop working for me, and this whole
Mm-hmm.
thing getting exposed with
Ah.
her. And she was given like 24 hours to provide all of the evidence too.
Oh my
She was
gosh.
going to get blamed too with it.
Well,
But
John,
she
I'm
didn't want
sorry.
to take
We
the
are out
blame.
of time where it's going to kick us
Yeah,
out.
that's what happened.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yes.
The
So I think,
stories you have.
yeah, so there are a lot of things that they saw in the paper about the building department. In fact, a lot of them were coming close to my office, and I know about them because of involving my drafter and things like that. And I have all kinds of stories like that too. They're very interesting. I'll have to say a few of them, but yes, I know about them, and that was really like the whole story to what's going on, to what they're talking about in the newspaper.
Amazing. Well, thank you.
Let me just
Love
stop it
speaking
there.
through, love seeing your work. Also, he's a tennis pro. He's got a lot going for him, John. Tell
Yep.
us how we could reach you.
Yes, the best way to reach me is to go onto my webpage at www.johnriggio.com. And there I have the description of my services, my contact information. You can give me a call, send me an email, and of course, I'm willing to help you with your new project.
Oh, thank you so much. And just curious, how was your Thanksgiving? Anything special? What'd you
Excellent.
do?
Usual things, usual turkey dinner.
Did you cook?
No.
So one thing you can't do, you don't cook.
Correct.
Or you could, but you just don't choose not to.
I didn't cook for the Thanksgiving dinner, no.
Good. All right. Neither did I. I don't like cooking. Too much cleanup, too much work. But I'm glad you hope you had a good time with your family.
Great, thank you. Hope you had
Thank
a
you so
good
much. You
Thanksgiving
too. You
also.
have a fantastic. I did. I cleaned out my attic and I got rid of like 30 bags of children clothes, brought them to the shelter and undecorated for Halloween, started decorating for Christmas. So I got to get the house in order. It's just not in order. It's bothering me. So that's what I did. But I had a good time. Thank you for asking. All right. We'll talk next week. All right, John?
Okay, great.
Thanks again. Love your photos. Bye bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.